So, hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of BWMB. We're excited today because, y'all, I'm always excited because I love amplifying the voices of Black women. And I get so excited every time I get to meet someone else who is amazing. I care a lot about this industry because this is how we got started, passing out flyers on the street to promote concerts and clubs. So when we get to meet a heavy hitter in this industry, I love it. So today we're going to be joined by Janice Cotton. She is a senior vice president over at the Black Promoters Collective, and what they're doing there is amazing in itself. And so we're going to jump into that. But without further ado, Janice, jump on in here with me. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you? And thank you for having me. I'm excited. This is such a great platform that you're providing, and for us to have an opportunity to tell our story is just great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for being here. So I don't want to Steve Harvey your background to death. If you don't mind just telling us a little bit about you and your company, and then we'll jump into the your other roles in the bigger collective.
I work with a company. Well, I'm a partner in a company called Bay Area Productions out of Oakland, California. We've been in business since 1984. Kind of dating myself, but we started off ground roots, giving parties, and then that led to a live performance here, then which led to, our first concert. Lionel B, my partner, I call him the rap connoisseur because he was one of the first to bring rap to the West Coast. And one of our first shows out here was Run DMC at the Richmond Auditorium. So that was the first thing and how it got started for us. And so it was just a series of events that really helped guide us in this business.
And then, so tell us about Bay Area Productions. Exactly what do they do?
We're a concert promotions company. We've been promoting concerts since 1986, I want to say. I think was our first concert that we did with UTFO and the Real Roxanne and Too Short. And one of my favorite stories is that Too Short was just getting started. He was selling cassettes out of the trunk of his car. And so Lionel wanted to put him on the show. And he said, well, I don't know how to get in contact with him. And he thought about it. He said, well, just put him on the flyer and on the poster, and he'll show up. And he did humbly and gave one of the best performances that I've seen. So that's one of the greatest stories that we have in this business.
Oh my God, I love that. That's guerrilla marketing and at its best. And then
Absolutely.
So now your role within your company, what does that day-to-day look like for you?
For Bay Area Productions, because we're a boutique business and most independents, we're all small and so Black on Block operated. So we have to do everything from, settlements to human resource management to you name it. I do it within our own immediate company. But, we're growing as we've grown within the BPC. And it's really great, and having an opportunity to employ within our own community means more than anything else to us.
Yay. So speaking of BPC, how did your company become part of this collective?
During the pandemic shutdown, we started a series of weekly Zoom meetings with all the top promoters from across the country. We just all started talking, trying to figure out how we were going to come out on the other side of this, because we knew that the rock and roll promoters were going to be okay. Your larger promoters. And so as independents, we've all worked on different shows within our own regions, but we thought about it and said, if we came together collectively, we'd have a stronger voice and we can have a seat at the table. So those conversations after a couple of months went down to 6 of the top Black independent companies that actually formed the collective. And we have, let's see, can't go off the top of my head, I did make some notes. But
notes.
Yeah, I gotta have notes at my age. But Gary Guidry, G Square Events out of Houston is one. Gary Guidry is our CEO. SJ Presents out of New York with Shelby Joyner, our president. Platinum Productions out of Philly. Bill Ingram, he's our CFO. The Right Productions and the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, my sister Shahida Mausi out of Detroit, and her partner Suleiman Mausi. Lionel B, my partner out of Bay Area Productions, we're out of Oakland, California. He's a senior vice president as well. And then 151 Productions out of Atlanta, Troy Brown, who is our CMO, our chief marketing officer. So we were the one standing, came together and had a vision and enacted that vision and made it work. And we produced 3 of the top grossing concerts our first year out. And that's unheard of.
Yes, let's go. I love that. I love the collaboration. And so when you guys were thinking about collaborating, was there a specific role for each of those folks? I know they have titles, but is there something that you're like, okay, whenever we're thinking about this particular aspect of an event, I'm the go-to on? Is there a specific role that you play within the collective?
We all pretty much play the same role because we have fortunately been able to hire an amazing support staff that can enact any vision that we have. So what we all are as partners, we're content creators. And so we have someone that can then facilitate our ideas and bring that to life. So, we have our bookers. We all have our own strengths, but because we've all been independents and we had to wear the many hats, we all are carrying the same amount of experience per se. So there's no one strength that everybody has. We're so strong in every area together.
I love it. It's like a Voltron for for the promotions. And
Absolutely.
so I love the Black Promoters Collective, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and make sure all the ladies get linked to how they can follow and how they can attend the events. But I'd like to talk a little bit more about your career, especially being in a male-dominated industry. What do you think has been your superpower to have such a illustrious career in an industry that it's a boys' club?
It really is that. And my superpower is my passion. So that's what has sustained me, because if I didn't have a thick skin or a feel for what I was doing, I would not have lasted. And coming in at the point in which I did in the early 80s, because I had the female voice, I could type, I answered the phones, I prepared the documents, I did all that quote unquote woman stuff. That somehow sometimes I was treated by others, calling in, like basically get the real guy on the phone. And it was at the time in which I discovered who I was, my value and my contribution, to where I put that aside. And I was like, that can't bother me, because you have to deal with me eventually on a whole nother level. And that time is coming, and that time is now. So, it happens. It's really, it can be abrasive. Mm-hmm. It can be sometimes hurtful, but you have to be strong in what you believe and how you feel in order to just move forward.
I love that. And then, so if we're thinking about, so a lot of the women in our audience are entrepreneurs, they're building their empires. And as we know, everybody is ready to get outside, whether it is a concert, a conference, a meet and greet, a happy hour, please just let me get outside. I'd like to drop some gems for the ladies. What are some things, whether you're promoting a boutique event or you're thinking about having thousands of people in an arena, what are some of the things that they need to be considering as they're planning their experiences?
The main consideration is just to make sure you have the best experience, and that's what we provide. We want to have the best experience for both the consumer and the artist. And so in going out, of course, always be safe. Safety is always first, but go out with the intention of having a great time and potentially meeting someone that may help you in what you're trying to accomplish. You never know who you may be sitting next to. And that's the beauty of it all, when you come together with a group of unknowns. That person sitting next to you may be a Fortune 500 person, or maybe a multi-millionaire, a hedge fund person. You never know, because we all like the same thing. We really do. Music is unifying. And so we all get together under one roof and we're enjoying ourselves. And then, so be kind. Always be kind to someone. You never know who you're talking to, who you're sitting next to. And I wear that strongly. That's one thing I would absolutely say.
Ooh, let's lead with kindness and grace, ladies. And if we're thinking about that, staying in the business of things, what do you think is like one business thing that often people overlook that could bite them in the butt?
Gratitude, absolute gratitude, because when you're working with others, especially with people that are new to you and you're new to them, you have to be appreciative for the opportunity to be in their presence. And so with that, that allows you to move forward. So a simple thank you note, a simple thank you email for the time that they've taken to share whatever information they've shared with you. If you don't do that, you will be forgotten. Trust me. So few people do that, and they're not remembered. So you want to be able to stand out from, the next person that's trying to jockey for that same opportunity. So that's one thing that I would definitely say would be gratitude, appreciation.
Oh, that I love. Let's go. I love that so much. Excuse me. And so one of the things that we try to focus on here at BWMB, especially as Black women, we are taking off those capes and creating balance in our lives. And so if we talked about that from a professional and personal vantage point, you are an amazingly busy woman running an empire over there. How do we create balance in our lives?
Balance is the most important thing in your life, and how you create it, I'm not an expert, trust me, because I'm overwhelmed a lot of times just trying to accomplish what I need to accomplish. But that balance of family, I'm not a mom per se. I haven't given birth to any, but I'm a mother to many. So I have to have that time just to refresh and energize, because there is so much more outside of what I do in order to make money. And making money is not everything, that not having that balance shortens your life. I can guarantee that I've seen it on a number of bases. And at the end of the day, you don't have the, the opportunity to do that if you don't make time for it. So you definitely have to make time for yourself on a personal level, away from the other foolishness, because that does not, it doesn't feed my soul. My family does. They really do. That's it.
Ooh, I love that. That's how we create balance. We have to keep feeding our souls. And so before we get out of here, I'd love to hear about what the big next is for the Black Promoters Collective.
Our big next, and I found that to be a great question, because we're moving forward in an area that has never been, entered into by Black individuals. We came together as an individual of Black professionals and strong Black professionals, brilliant professionals in this industry, and we formed a major collective. We're moving forward with greater success. That's all I can really say. It's like we officially started our collective in 2021 with the first round of events in 2022. We had the culture tour with New Edition, Charlie Wilson, and Jodeci. The night tour with Maxwell, Anthony Hamilton, and Joe. Then Mary J. Blige, Ella Mai, and Queen Naja. It's like we just came out just hitting home runs left and right immediately. And we're currently ranked number 22 in the world as concert promoters. Just to make the list initially is amazing, but to make the top 50 is unheard of. And as a Black company, Black owned, Black operated, we couldn't be any prouder. So, it's like having a baby and the baby comes out walking and talking. It's like, where does it go from there? It only continues to grow and it only continues to get better. So we've done great things, and we're going to continue to do amazing things. We're going to have, create a number of signature events, because our company is for the culture, by the culture. It's all about our community, and who more qualified to bring our community their favorite artists and live entertainment than those from the community. So that's what you're going to start seeing, is more content from us, and it's going to be directed at our community.
And I'll tell you firsthand, because I was in the audience screaming my voice out. You would have thought I was 12 years, you know, a teen fans. I had an amazing time at the events that I have gone to, hosted by the Black Promoters Collective. So that is why we're going to make sure that you are absolutely connected with them, following them on their Instagram and website so that you know when they're dropping their next event. So Ms. Janice, before we get out of here, I like to, I want to drop one more gem. And so if we could leave the ladies as they're building their empires with one piece of advice, what would that be?
Don't stop. Do not stop, because whatever you come across, if you can imagine it, you can do it. And I'll just say this briefly, is that when I was coming up, I didn't have the opportunity of role models in this industry. I didn't even know it existed. So one thing I thought about, I said, well, who is my biggest influence? And I would say myself, because I created my own path in this industry. I had nobody to look to. You know, I had the role models of my mother, my grandmother, my aunts. I saw them work hard for success and achievement. And if it didn't work out what I was doing at that particular time, the only thing they said, well, what's next? Okay, so that let me know that there are other things out there to discover. Yeah. So don't give up and pursue your passion. You know within your soul what it means to you. And if something feels that good, then that's your dream. That's your path. That's where you need to start walking. And it's just, I get excited when I think about that. I love seeing people pursue that passion and making a dream realized. That is the most beautiful thing on the planet to me. Oh, I forgot to mention, we also won the Billboard Awards R&B and Rap Power Player of the Year award too.
Let's go. Let's not pop them colors right there. We love accolades and awards, and I know that was so well deserved. So yes, we can't wait to see what you do next and support you and the rest of the Black Promoters Collective as you guys are building something that is unprecedented for us with such care for the culture. So I want to personally thank you for that. I know so many other people who are grateful for the experiences and the opportunities to sing our hearts out and let our hair down as we work so hard. So thank you again, Janice, for joining us here today at BWMB. And we can't wait to see what you do next.
Well, what we have coming up next is the Legacy Tour with New Edition, Guy, Keith Sweat, and oh my God, I'm so sorry. What's this tank?
Oh, that's okay. We're going to make sure that everything is linked for the ladies to go and purchase your ticket, whether it's a girls' night out, a vacation, or whatever experience you want to create for yourself and your loved ones. We're going to make sure that you are absolutely connected with the Black Promoter Collective team.
And you can follow us on our website, blackpromoterscollective.com, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're all over the place. So just
all over these interwebs. So until we should chat with you ladies again, make sure you go out and trust your brilliance. Bye for now.